sunny Wednesday morning. Yeah, the weather is so nice. I just like, but usually I look outside and it's raining. Let me know how's the weather where you are. I'd love to know. Hopefully the sunshine stays there for a while, so I can go for a quick walk with Roxy. Yesterday the weather was horrible. We didn't get out at all. So, what are we going to do today? So, when I was looking through all the different kits and bits of pieces, what we had done last year, I have realized that Alyssa kit has been out of stock for a long time. So I have evaluated the kit. There is a couple of crystals I had to change because I no longer have it, and we worked, and I thought it's such a lovely and easy pattern, so why don't we that one's going with those ones, why don't we sort of bring it back and have a little look at it. Now I had a think, like, you know, it's a really beautiful one to make as a bracelet. I'm just going to bring this in one because it's very, very simple but very effective. I love sort of simple and effective jewelry. However, you don't just make bracelets, you could make a ring, and I'll show you how to join the end and the beginning up if you do want to make a ring. And with the ring, what we can actually do is only include the crystals on the top, so you don't have sort of the scratch feeling in between your fingers, and definitely not putting crystals at the bottom so you don't scratch anything what you touch. Also, what you can do is to turn it into a necklace, and I love sort of round necklaces as well, but I love V-shaped necklaces even more. And I'll show you how you can turn that you can turn into a V-shaped necklace as well. I love herringbone stitch. I love something like, which is so simple like this, and just adding that little micro crystal on the top. The kits are fantastic because you get a variety of seed beads in there, and you get a variety of crystals as well, so you can mix and match. And you also, what you can do is you can do sort of a multicolor effect as well, and like an ombre effect, because the colors are kind of what I put together, they do go together. Good morning, Charlotte. Nice to see you here. Lisa, good morning. Camille, good morning. Good morning, Victoria. Cheyenne, good morning. Trillian, good morning. Kim, good morning. She says, I love microcrystals and this bracelet. I love microcrystals as well, because I was so surprised when we, good morning, Tracy. Mina, good morning. When we got the microcrystals in, so I always test new beads when we get them in. And with the microcrystals, so the way how I test them, I put I test them with size 10 and size 11 needle. I test them with like a thinner and a thicker Supalon as well. And I remember sitting there, I was so surprised. So I put a few of the crystals on my needle, pulled it through the thread, and then I'll go through it again. So then I count how many times I can go through the same crystal with a needle and thread. And it was about 4 or 5 times with a thicker thread, and about 5 or 6 times with a thinner thread. And I thought, this is fantastic, because this has got the similar hole on there than a size 11 seed bead, and we can create so many different and nice patterns with them. So I really, really do love them. Good morning, Robin, Janice. Minister, just check. I bought 5 colors. They are really good, and they make a lot as well. So you can just kind of sit there and create and create and create. Carol, okay, good morning from Wisconsin. I'm so bad at saying names, so sorry if I butchered that. Good morning, David. I hope you are all right. She said it's been tough here. Lost the hassle. Oh no, and the buyer getting a new chair. Love the kids. Sunny here. Oh, bless you. I hope you get like, I think it's after January that's when people kind of like go back and like, oh yeah, we go over Christmas, January is over, and then you're back and want to move again. So fingers crossed. I'm crossing fingers for you that everything works out this time around. Good morning, Adelina. Debbie, good morning. Tracy, good morning. Judith, good morning. Mary, good morning. Mary Carol? Is it Mary your first name, I guess? Good morning. Caroline, good morning. Say good morning, Kitty and our beading family. Mommy Guide in. Hi, Kitty. Hi, everyone. Good morning to you, Debbie Harris. Good morning, Nicole. Right, okay, I better get started. I don't really doesn't really matter, I guess, what color am I going to demo with. So I'm just very quickly going to show you the different colors, what you can have on the website. And I'll pop you over to the website as well quickly. Let me just close this window here and get to the window I need to get to. Roxy, I'm not sure if you can hear, but Roxy's found one of her squeaky toys, and then it's going shh, shh. Bless them. She's such a she's so lovely. Like the minute I said I need to go live, and I turned the cameras on, it was so amazing this morning. I have to tell you this. So the minute I said I'm going live, I turned the cameras on, I was sitting down and organizing a table, she went into her crate. I didn't shut the door on her because like Leanne is here, so there is a couple of us, and I don't have to be, because I'm worried that she would chew a cable or something while I'm live and concentrating on this. But she found one of her squeaky toys. Right, okay, so Thelma saying, my first time in your channel, good morning, can't wait when you start your tutorial. Oh, good morning to you as well, and welcome. We do tutorials Monday, Wednesday and Friday every single morning at 10 a.m. UK time, and we do all sorts of different things. Okay, so let me quickly pop you over to the website and show you all the different colors we have in stock. So there we go, and by now you know the drill. TotallyBeads.co.uk. You're going to go into categories and press on video tutorials. Let me just get rid of this little window, and or like, you know, the button on the right hand side of the top. So Alyssa bracelet today, I'm going to go into that one, and we have got 10 beautiful colors. Oh, this one is showing no stock already. So I'm not gonna show the aluminium ones. So Leanne, can you have a look what's out of stock on that one, and have a word with Simon if they can sort it out, because sometimes the stock is there but like it's not updated on the system. So we got amethyst here, and then we have got crystal mauve, we got frosted. I love this one, these sort of colors, because they go with everything. We got lilac nebula, we got lime mojito, we got milky peach, we got peridot capri, sapphire, and starlight rose. So I'm just going to pop into one, and any one, it doesn't really matter. So just to show you what do you get in your kit. Oh no, I don't want to add a bookmark. I want to and it's doing all sorts of things now. It's zoomed in. Hold on, let's sort this out. There we go, back to the normal size. So what you have got in your kit, you get 3 different colors of your size 8 seed beads. You get a bag of 10 toggle clasps, so you can make many bracelets out of this one depending on the size. On my size, because you know me, I'm on the largest side, I probably get 9 bracelets out of it, but you know, you can get more, because if you are doing a smaller size, and you get 5 strands of these microcrystals as well, so you can mix and match what crystal you want to put on what seed bead, and as well you can do rainbow and ombre effects. So it's really beautiful. Right, okay, so you can add needle and thread as an extra, and printed instructions are 30p. So I'm going to come back to the camera, and I'm going to show you there. I'm going to show you the real samples very quickly. So amethyst, actually let's go from here. These 3 beauties at the end, and I think that one's going with that one. I mixed that one up. So this one, and I'm going to bring this up to you and show you close up. I love some of the seed beads I have chosen, like metallic. Some of them are silver lined, some of them are frosted, some of them are shiny. There is a really good mixture in them. So this one is the starlight rose. You got some sort of a little bit hint of orange in there, more like a rosy color, and then like goldy colors and brown color in this one. The next one I have here is the crystal mauve, and they got white in there, and then I'm gonna need to show you, shut the blind please. I got white in there as well, and crystal, and then we have got like sort of a medium and darker pink in there as well. You can mix and match as well. Next one is this one. I love this color. I don't think it's that one. It's this one right here, lovely. In this end. It's like, it's so not, no, not that one. That one over there. Leanne just shutting the blinds. It's like, which one is it? I got like a big bay window and another window here. And I don't like to shut them because I like to have as much light as I can have. It's still not the right one, but never mind. I think, no, the other one, this one, the little one, that one, yes. Plus this, shuttable, Milky Peach is this one, called, again, I have sort of more peachy and more, this one's like a copper lined, milky color seed beads. I really love this one, and I do use it quite a lot as well. And we got the crystals and somewhat a rainbow finish on there. Right, next one is this one. This one is the aluminium iris. And there goes somebody at the door, and Roxy is going to investigate with Leanne. Oh, what a morning we have! So this one is an aluminium iris. Leanne is going to have a look if we got any more stock of that one. Next one is, I got on here, is this one, which is sapphire. I love sapphire, you know, I love my blues. Again, what I did, I chosen a light, a medium and a darker blue for your seed beads, and the crystals on the top are a mixture as well. There is silver ones in there as well, and they look quite nice. The next one is the Peridot Capri. So again, you got a Peridot color seed bead, and you got a tealy color, a couple of tealy color seed beads as well. One of them is silver lined, the other one is just sort of like a clear see-through, and you got plenty of like a good variety of crystals to go on. Don't forget, I'm showing you 3 because I made up 3 different samples, but there are 5 crystals in each one of the kits, not just 3. You got 3 seed beads and 5 crystals. So next one is the, where is the seed? This, there it is. We dropped one of the bracelets. Next one is this one. I do love this color as well. This sort of your aubergine purpley color. This is called amethyst. I love these seed beads because they are just sort of I don't think the camera picks it up sort of quite right, but it's just like sort of a hint of purple in there, like a hint of aubergine on these seed beads. You got one which is sort of medium color and one which is darker color, and again there will be 5 colors of crystals in the kit. Right, next one is the Lilac Nebula. So here I went for a very sort of a lilac. This one is called grape seed beads. Then we got sort of a purple, and we have got like a blue with purple in there as well. I love mixing blues and purples. I think they look really good. And when you mix blues and purples, you can either wear it with purple clothes or you can wear it with blues like jeans or anything like that. And again, 5 crystals in that one. And last but not least is the frosted ones. So I do love a frosted finish sometimes. And can you see, and I'm going to bring any of them in. So I'll bring this in. So can you see like what's the difference? When you look at the frosted seed beads and you got the crystals on the top, how much more the crystals are sparkling because the frosted finish next to it, it just really makes it stand out. Now these ones are sparkling too as well, but because these are frosted, they stand out even more. And I think frosted finish are so so elegant, and you can use it, like they would go with so many different colors, especially this one. So we got like a gray, we got like a browny gray, and we got a black one in that one as well. Lucy's saying so many nice colors. Rachel saying you made it, good morning, love the colors. And hello Kitty. Kimberly's saying Law feels like Monday morning. I think like because like we just had the new year, like, and everything is sort of like out of whack, and we had bank holidays, and you don't know what day it was of the week, like between New Year's and Christmas. You know, I never know what day it is anyway during the day either. Right, okay, so what color shall I demo with? I am going to grab a color. Let's do the frosted one. I'm gonna do the frosted one. So in your kit they're gonna be 3 different beads there. The 3 different sized beads. You're going to get your toggles and you got your crystals. So you can see as your crystals have got, like, if I put them down like that, the 5 different crystals have got a shading from it. So going from a very light one to going all the way to the dark. So we could do an ombre effect on the bracelet or on necklace or anything we're creating. I'm going to show you the stitch quickly and then we can experiment a little bit because we're going to have time, because it's like 2 steps to this stitch. It's so easy. So I'm going to start. I am going to do you kind of feel like saying, like, can't get which color to demo with. I'm going to go with this one, and then I'll show you how to start the bracelet off, how to do the kit, and I'm show you how to start off, because when you want to do a ring, it will be slightly different than when you're starting off with a bracelet. So I'm just grabbing some thread. I'm going to use a silver thread. So I always like to match the thread to the seed beads I use, and super long thread has got so many lovely colors. I could use something more like this, and this one's got a hint of brown in it, but perhaps it's a little bit closer. This one's more got like a cold feel to it. This one has got a warmer tone to it. But the other thing why I also look when I choose my thread, or could go something darker like this as well, which is like a dark charcoal, guys. So there's something what I look when I do this is look at the overall project. So if I'm going to be using the black seed beads with it, then the black crystals with it, with the gray seed beads, then I might even use a black thread. If I'm going to be using something like this color, crystals on the top, because the thread on the side somewhat like they're going to show up, then I would use this thread. If I'm going to be using this color with it, then probably I would go for this thread. And if I'm using something, this one's got like a tiny bit of warmth in there, then I might go for that thread as well. So do have a look, but you could make a point of using a completely different thread to sort of really show the thread pass through as well. And then when you see the little bit of a mechanics of the bracelet itself, it looks really good. Let's use the black one on the top with the black thread, so it will really contrast for us and show you how to start it off. So I'm just going to grab a needle, going to try to find a straightish needle. All my needles are always bent, you know that. And I'm going to zoom in, and then I am going to start the stitch for you. So when I do this, if I do it as a bracelet, I'm going to start right by the clasp itself, so I can work from one end all the way to another. Now if you're doing a necklace, or if you're doing a necklace, then you can come down one side of the necklace and go back on the other, so you can still start as by the clasp. If you're doing a ring, then obviously you don't need a clasp, so we're gonna have to start differently for the ring itself. So before I kind of like go in and start, let me know if you got any questions in the comments, so I can kind of like, it's like when I put my head down and I start the demo, it's like I sometimes don't look up and then the questions go. So do let me know if you got any questions. Put a Q in front of it. That really helps for me to identify it. That is for me. Ring sounds good, Debbie's saying. Right, I'm going to show you how to do the bracelet, but that it's in the PDF instructions as well. And then you're going to see how to start off if you want to do a ring. I just added a bit of cream on my hand, and I just realized I'm working with with frosted beads, so they're not going to be frosted for long. Right, okay, so when I start by the clasp, and let me just take some of the crystals off as well, because we're going to need them fairly soon in the project. So when I start by the clasp, I'm just going to grab the clasp. It doesn't matter which end you're going to start with, you're going to add the other end on to the other side. So what we're going to do is we are going to be picking up just one seed bead. So this is quite a nice and neat way to start your bracelet. I'm going to pick up one seed bead. I'm going to go to the loop on the clasp. I'm going to take this down. I'm gonna wrap this around my finger so I can suspend it, so you can kind of like see it right there. And I'm gonna come back through. I'm going back towards my tail in this seed bead and pull this up nice and tight. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick up a couple of seed beads. I'm gonna go down, back in, so I'm going to back towards my clasp in that seed bead, and I'm gonna come through the loop on the clasp as well and pull this up nice and tight. I'm gonna tap on the top, because what I want to achieve here is those two seed beads kind of sit side by side. If I don't want to sit side by side at this point, I'm just gonna push my needle in there and make it sit the right way. I just kind of want those two seed beads sit the same way as the one in right at the bottom. Just zoom in a little bit more. Then I'm gonna go back up. I'm gonna go through the single seed bead, which is right after the clasp, and I'm gonna go through the seed bead above. I'm gonna go on the right hand side. Now obviously if you're left-handed, you would go to the left instead of the right. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. Now I'm going to pick up another couple of seed beads, and once more I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to come through this seed bead on the left hand side and the seed bead underneath it, and I'm going to stick my needle through that loop. Again, if it doesn't want to sit right on the top, I'm just sort of like tapping on it until I get them to sit in the right way. Once you get started, it's always a starting point. The first few stitches, which is not when the bead's not going to behave. So I'm going to go back up the single seed bead and both of these two seed beads right here. And from here is when I'm going to be starting my pattern. And you're going to be repeating this all the way along. So I got something to hold on to. I'm going to let that tail go. Oops. And I just made the beads roll over everywhere. So what I'm going to do, and this is the two steps you're going to do all the way along. I'm going to pick up two seed beads. I'm going to pick up two seed beads here. I'm going to come down as I'm coming out on the right hand side. I'm going to come down on the left, just zoom out a little bit so it's focusing, but it's going to come out, going to come down towards the clasp on the left. And then I'm not going through the single seed bead anymore. I'm going to pick up a microcrystal and I'm going to go up through 3 beads on the right hand side. And this is as easy as you're going to be repeating all the way along. I want this crystal to sit on the top in the middle of those 2 beads. So picking up 2 seed beads, I'm coming down on the left hand side, coming through 2 beads, making sure they're sitting nice and nice on the top, picking up a crystal, just chasing the crystal on my mat, picking up a crystal, then going up through the 3 seed beads on the right hand side and pulling this nice and tight. And again, I'm going to be repeating this all the way, picking up 2 seed beads, coming down on 2, picking up a seed bead here and going up to 3. And I'm going to be repeating this over and over again until I have the desired length of the bracelet. Obviously, I'm not going to do the whole bracelet because I want to show you another couple of stuff. What you can do with, if you are, want to do a ring, or if you want to do a necklace, you're going to have to start a different way if you don't need the clasp on the end. And I really want to show you how to start. I'm just going to do a few stitches, so you got like an inch worth of beadwork there. It grows quite quickly because you're working with size 8 seed beads. It grows quite quickly as you go along, but that's all you do. You pick up 2 and just go up. So recap one more time. So you pick up 2 seed beads, you come down on one side, come down 2 beads and go up 3. Oh, sorry, pick up the crystal and go up on the other side. So we're always adding the crystal as we go along, so we don't have to go back later on and add it onto the top. There we go, putting that nice. Now this crystal could be something else, like, you know, you could add a small pearl, you could add another seed beads, but so along you're gonna go on and add them on. Funny's Creation says, sorry I'm late. Image dog for a broken toe that turned out to be an infection instead. Oh, well, it's good that it's not broken. The infection is, I guess, just as bad. So speedy recovery. Sending you loads of hugs and kisses. Fab, and I think I still got some beads left. Mina's saying 2.5 bracelets from each strand of micro crystals, and even got 2 rings from the half. Oh, bless you. Yeah, they do go, like, there's so many beads on those micro crystals. They do go a very long, rare. Morning Sue. Good idea for leftover beads. And I just want to find what was the Dana said, I purchased 6 colors when I did this a while ago and absolutely love these. So many. Have to buy another color today. Yeah, they're so easy to do. Like, I love doing projects like this because it looks effective. It's very simple and you know, it's easy. It's elegant. It's easy. Morning, Sharon. There we go. I can't believe that some are out of stock already. What's out of stock? Liam, what's going on? Pew made it.
Is sold out.
Okay.
Because of the CP.
Okay. We're just saying Pew made it today. Hello, Kitty and Roxy. Yeah, she's just sitting right next to me here. Right. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to show you how to do a ring, how to start if you're making a ring. So I'm just going to take the thread. Now the great thing about using this for as a ring, because what I find sometimes with rings, that we are supposed to take them off when we wash our hands, or when we do some cleaning, or, you know, we're supposed to, like, really take care of them, because, like, you know, the thread in them can stretch, and the more you get it wet, the more is it going to stretch. So we are supposed to do all those things, but you automatically pick something up and wash it. You automatically, you know, you just go there and just do it, and you get your ring wet. And so the great thing when you're doing rings with size 8 beads, that you can go around quite a few times inside there at the end to strengthen it, and then it will last longer and longer. So if I want to do a ring, I'm going to start off by picking up 2 seed beads and just ping it away, and I'm going to take these 2 all the way down. I'm going to come through both of them to sew them together, and as I sew them together, you see, I want to kind of like open them up, and I want them to sit side by side. So I'm going to go up on the first one more time. So my tail is here, my working thread is on the other side, and I got 2 beads just sitting on top of each other side by side. Then I'm going to pick up another 2, and I'm going to come down on the other side when there is no thread. I'm going to come down through that single bead and then go up through both of them on this side and pull this up nice and tight. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to pick up 2 seeds. I'm going to come down on 2 this time, and then go up through 1. Now you could start by sewing 4 beads together at the start. I like to do it 2 by 2, because if you start 4 together, there won't be a thread path between 1 and 2 on one side, and I kind of like to start with 2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same. Now you can see at the moment I am not adding crystal on the top, because the bottom and the side part in between my fingers, I don't really want crystals on the top. I don't really want to scratch my hand or the crystal to scratch anything what I would pick up. I would go along and do the same motion as I did with the bracelet, but not adding the crystals onto the top. So I'm going to very quickly bead this up and just sort of, I want to get So when I do rings, I like to join the rings either sort of where in between the finger part or at the bottom part. So you haven't got anything sticking out or anything, like, you know, sometimes you can have a little thread. It's definitely not on the top. So your ring is always looks nice. I will show you how to finish it off as well. We got plenty of time. So I have got about an inch at the moment. I'm going to add a few more beads. Now, because if you got smaller fingers, obviously you're going to make this smaller. If you got larger, you're going to make it larger, but don't do so much of the bottom and the side part, because once you add the top, like you really want to work on the top, like how big you want the top with the crystals on there. And once you kind of like work that, there's always room on the other side before we're joining it up to add more of that bottom part of that. So once I am happy and I got a sort of a length, I'm going to start doing my pattern. So I'm going to pick up two, come down to two seed beads, and pick up a crystal, and then go up to 3 on this side. And I'm going to repeat this as many times I need on the top of my ring. Now, for me, it's kind of like I need a bigger section. For some people, they might need a smaller section. So I'm going to go ahead, pick up another 2. I probably need about 10 like this for me, but we will try it. And then crystal and go up to 3. Question: how would you make a necklace in this stitch? And I'll show you how to turn. Let's we're going to finish this ring quickly, and then I'm going to show you how to turn into a V shape, or what you can do. There's a couple of ways you can join, or you can do it. You can do it straight as well, and I'll show you that as well. How you can turn the if you're making it into a necklace. Kimberly's saying coffee. I just did a sip of my coffee, so we were like thinking, great minds think alike, I guess. Isn't that what they say? So down 2, and then crystal, and up 3, and it's just sort of pattern repeat. I love things like this because it is just pattern repeat. Lucy popped the link in there for us, so thank you so much. On Facebook, that is saying, I made a ring the other day to match my bracelet and worked out how to start. Was really pleased with the results. Oh, bless. That's so good. I think like it's so rewarding. I know it's so rewarding. Like when you make something, and sometimes like you just want to sit back and just look at it and relax, and I don't know, for me it's you know, it's creating something, and I could sit there and tinker all afternoon and evening, or even like a whole week, and just sort of play with bits and pieces. I have yesterday I did make up a couple of bracelets which will be coming up as live soon, and I tried like so many different variations. I tried different bits, and that's like different beads, and within the same, like choosing a pattern and just trying out all sorts of different options. Like it's really exciting, and like, you know, working out bits of pieces, and like, what if I do this, or what if I do that, and what if I just change this bit, and what if I change that bit, and I'll show you at the end. I'll show you those 2 bracelets because they're right here on my desk. The technique is very similar, almost like exactly the same, but they look completely different. I need a few more crystals as well. Hang on. So let me just have a look. I think let's do it for this finger. I'm just going to pop it on. So I'm going to hold the 2 threads together at the bottom so I can pull it kind of onto my finger. I can see, I think I need 4 more crystals on the top. Oh, sorry, I'm at the shop. So I need 4 more crystals on the top because I don't really want the crystal in between the fingers. So sort of judging maybe 4 or 5 crystals I need there. Don't forget then when you're doing a ring, what can happen is once we made the ring and you go back and reinforce all of those thread puffs within the larger beads, the size 8 beads, to really make it strong, you can pull the size slightly, tiny bit smaller, but that tiny bit sometimes can end up not being, not like the ring is not fitting. And bracelets are somewhat like, you know, you got a standard size and it's easy to make, but I think sometimes rings can be harder because there is much more sizing. So if you are, I don't know, your wrist is 7-inch, you can wear a 7.5-inch bracelet, or if your wrist is 8-inch, you can wear an 8.5-inch to a 7.5-inch, because you can still like wear a bracelet tight. But with rings you can't, like it has to be the right size. And but sometimes you just have to make one up and they don't take too long, and then make the next one a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Right, I'm adding, I think I got one more after this. I got one more crystal to add, and that will be our top part done. So 2 seed beads, going down 2 on one side, coming up on the other side after I picked up the crystal, and then I am just gonna do a few more just without any crystals added. So this part is again gonna be the side and the bottom part. I'm just gonna add a couple more and I'm gonna try on, and I think I might have the right size. And yes, sure, like I could like measure it and then use a ruler every single time, but when you're making for yourself, it's just so easy. Like, you know, your wrist is there, your neck is there, your your fingers are there, you just measure it yourself. Is there any more stock on aluminum iris? I'll get Leanne to check it just in a sec. Is she there?
No, she's gone to the kitchen.
Oh, she's in the kitchen. She'll be back in a minute, so we will check it just in a sec. Right, okay, so I am adding this one and I am checking right after this one. I don't want to make it too big. So again, I got one end, my tail end there, my thread there, so I can very easily sort of just wrap it around my finger, and I'm gonna go and hold those 2 ends together. And what I like to do as I hold these 2 ends together, I kind of hold it with my further down with my spare fingers, and I push my index finger and my thumb together and like really pull the ends in. So with this, and I'm not really sure how I can show you, so with this I can kind of see how many more seed beads can I, or do I need to put. I think in my case it's 4, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 4 seed beads there. So I'm just coming down on 2 seed beads, then going up to 3 on this side, and I picked up 2 seed beads, I don't know why. So that's 1. This will be number 2, going up to 3, and then picking up 2, that's 3. I said 4, didn't I? And I'm constantly checking, and then going up through here, and the last 2. Now I could join it with seed beads, or I can just join it like that. So let me just double check it, just a last try. So I can go in. Yeah, I think that will be the right size. So there's two ways to joining a ring together. So if there's still one bead needed to be added, so I'm going to wrap this around, and I either like to wrap it around something, a pencil or anything you have, your pliers, anything you have, to make sure I'm keeping this straight. Or the other thing I like to do is that, like, I kind of fold the structure on itself. So I'm holding it, I'm not letting it to twist. I know this is sitting straight, and believe me, like, silly mistakes, but I have done it myself as well. Many years ago, but I have did it. So as I'm coming out of here on this side, I'm gonna go down to where my tail is coming out. I'm gonna go down through 2 beads here, just like this, without adding a beads. I'm just going down to 2 beads on this side, and then I'm gonna go up to 2 beads on the other side and continue my thread path back through a single bead here. So with that one, we have joined the ring up, and I'm just going to hold it like this. We have joined the ring up, but we still need to go backwards and forwards a couple of times, because there's still only one thread joining these two together, and every single other place where we sort of made our little connection, there are more than one threads are going through. So I'm going to go up through one more seed bead, and I'm gonna as I'm coming out of this seed bead here, I'm gonna jump to the other side, and this side I'm gonna go down to 3 seed beads, and then go up to like 3, or doesn't really matter how many on this side. And finally, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come down to 2 seed beads. So right now I'm right next to my tail. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna knot my tail end and my working end together. So with that, my ring is finished. So I got a nice little knot there, and I can take the threads through a few more beads, and then I can trim it off. However, if I want to make this stronger, simply what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to go around this ring, and probably I should have added one more bead in there, because this is going to make it smaller. I'm going to go around the beads. So I'm just going to run around the beads, filling up those holes with thread. And the more you do this, the more round your ring is going to sit, and the more stronger it's going to be. And it's like, you know, it's less chance for it to stretch. And I can go through 2-3 times even, just feel it. This is not necessarily, I like to do it because, you know, it only takes, if you, especially if you're working with larger beads and you got the room there, it only takes an extra couple of minutes to run around and to make your ring really strong. And whenever you're ready, so you can see, as if I put it down, I don't know if the camera will be able to pick up, but I can already see, so it's pulled this round together a bit more, and the other side is kind of a little bit looser. I think you can see that this ring is like, this side of the ring is slightly larger. So I'm going to jump over to the other side by just, as I'm coming out, I'm exiting towards the top in that bead, I'm just stepping to the other side, and I'm going to start running around in this direction with my thread again 2-3 times to make this nice and strong as well, filling up the thread paths, filling up the holes of the beads with the thread path, with the thread. And there we go. So it's like, if I worked with size 11s and I did this stitch in size 11s, I wouldn't do this, because you probably wouldn't have the space to keep going around. But because we worked with size 8s, and size 8s are slightly larger and have got larger holes as well, so they're about 3mm in size, we can do this, not a problem. So there's another way to knot your thread off, which I'm going to show you quickly, which is, if you, I'm just going to come up through those 2 beads, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my needle in between those two beads. And what I want to do, I'm going to go under and catch the thread path there between the two beads. And I'm going to pull my needle through. And as I'm pulling this through, you can see you got this little loop sort of coming, which if I pull it through, it would like disappear. So I got this little loop forming, and before this little loop disappears, I'm going to go through, I'm going to take my needle through, it's slightly twisted, so I'm just going to untwist it. I'm going to take my needle through that little loop. There we go. I'm going to take my needle through that little loop. And when I pull this up nice and tight, that loop is going to tighten as a knot. Now I'm going to turn back and go to the other side. I'm going to add another half hitch knot, they're called. Again, just catching that thread path and then going through the loop. And I could do this a couple of times to make it really stronger. Never cut. I wouldn't cut my thread off just there. I always go in, take it through a few beads, and then I'm ready to trim my thread. And you could do the same with your tail end. However, we have knotted the beginning and end together, so you just need to take it through a few more beads, and that's it. And then we go, let me just detach this. I'll work the tail end off just in a sec. Yeah, it did become a little bit too small then. I needed that one extra bead I didn't add on. So it's not going to fit on that finger. Let's put it on a little finger. Yeah, so I did need it one extra bead. But that's because I tightened it up. If I didn't go in and tighten it up, then it would have been the perfect size. Right, okay, so let's have a look how you gonna, if you're gonna do a necklace, how you're gonna turn or how you're gonna make your necklace. So I like to have a V shape better than a round shape, and I'm doing something like this because if you can do a round shape, and I'm just going to pop this bracelet here. So if you want to do a round shape, then what you need to do is to go down on one side of your structure and pull it really tight, and by doing that it will close those gaps, there's tiny little gaps in between the seed beads on one side but not on the other side, kind of like what we did with the ring. And so you're gonna get more around the structure. However, something like this, I like to have it in a V shape, and I'll show you a couple of ways how you can have a V shape as well. And there's one other way that if you start your necklace as you would be starting the ring we just started, not your bracelet, so not adding a clasp on the end, so you could have two clear ends. The other thing what you could do is to do two kind of like half a length of necklace or a little bit longer ones. And then what you would do, you quite simply, so if you imagine this is I know this is two different color, but if it is the end and the beginning of our necklace, and I'm going to pull this up nice and tight, I can then, and I'll show you another way, this is just sort of talking you through this one, I can then have one coming down of this side of my neck, the other one coming down on the other side of the neck, and somewhere here at the end, not quite at the end, so I would want to have like a little tussle a little bit or a little bit longer bit on one side. I probably would do this maybe about 1.5 inches, and maybe this is like a 3/4 of an inch. All simply I would go in and with sort of a square motion I would stitch the few beads together, maybe 3 or 4 beads, and that's it. And that's how you can create sort of a little tassel on the end. Now if you don't want the tassel and you want sort of a straight V shape, and I'm just gonna stitch and show you that one, how to achieve that one, that's a really great way to do it. So let me just zoom back in. So once again, I've got enough thread here. I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna start with 4 seeds, so I'm quicker to start this time. So I'm starting with 4 seeds. I'm gonna go through the first 2 again and pull them tight. So I got like a 4 bead there. I'm gonna come down on 1 bead on this side, and go up through another bead here. So now I do have a thread path between sort of these two beads as well, but this is what I mentioned at the ring. So when you start with 4, the only thread path you haven't got, so this one has got a thread path on the top, and these two doesn't have a thread path on the top. And can you see like they sit a little bit, a tiny bit wonky-ish? So that's why I like to start with 2 beads, but you can start with 4. You can start with 6 beads, whichever you like. So I'm picking up 2, I'm gonna come down on 2, and then gonna go up to 3 on this side. There we go. And then I'm gonna keep on going and adding a few more. Now if you want to add the crystals on the top, you don't have to add it all the way. You can just add it at the front, or whichever way you want to add it. You would be adding the crystals in where you're coming back up on yourself, but I just want to show you kind of how to turn the stitch with the herringbone. So we can imagine that we have done, I don't know, maybe 8-10 inches, how many big we want to have on one side. And then we got to the middle of the necklace, and it's time to turn our little V shape. I'm just going to add one more here, so I got kind of like got more to hold on to, but I'm doing the same motion. If I want to add the crystals on the top, I would be picking up the crystal on the right now and going back to these 3. If I just want to have it plain, then I would keep going on plain. So I got to I'm imagining this is my middle of the necklace. I'm coming out of this bead and I want to create a V shape. So there is a couple of ways. We could have like just sort of 1 seed bead and maybe 3 seed bead, like a little loop at the bottom, and sort of travel up the other way as well. The way how I'm going to show it to you is you kind of like, so if you join it that way, then I might even would make 2 separate pieces and then join it just with a few beads in the middle. The way how I'm going to show you is how to like sort of turn a corner. So as I'm coming out of that bead there, I'm going to pick up my 2 beads as I would be picking up my 2 beads, but instead of going down on the other side, I'm going to loop back. So I'm coming out of this bead here. I'm just going to zoom in a bit more. I'm coming out of this bead here. On that line, I'm going to step back 2 beads, and I'm going to come through just 2 beads just right there. And I kind of like turned here just with that. I'm going to go up through the first bead. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. I'm going to pick up another 2 bead. I'm going to go down on this bead just right here on the other side. And then I'm going to come along those 2 again. So I sewed the whole structure a couple of times to go in the middle. And now I'm going up through both of those. And I'm doing exactly the same from this point onward, what I have done before, coming down 2 on one side, going up 3 on one side. So it's very easy as that. You just turn the corner, and then you're going to keep on beading, adding 2 beads at a time, all the way up and down on your bead structure. It's going to create you this beautiful V shape. And if you are doing the crystals, you would be like adding the crystals on the top when you're coming back up. I didn't add the crystals on the top because like I kind of like really wanted you to see the thread path with that. It came with the same coffee. Thank you. I hardly got any coffee left. I have to go and make some other one soon. So has anybody got any more questions for me? Can you make the rings with elastic? The problem is that you have to sort of, you're doing this square shape, this sort of rectangle shape, sewing them together. And then with the elastic, you can't really then come back and add the things on the top. If you do want an elastic ring, what I would suggest to do is to do a bit of beadwork with thread and needle. This part at the top, you would do it with thread and needle, and you would finish it off. And because they are larger beads, you only have got like a thread only 2 or 3 times went through each bead. You have got space then to get like a thinner elastic through it, and then this part would be, so I would start the elastic at the top, and sort of pull it through the top and add the beads to the bottom. So this part, they would be two separate lines, they wouldn't be joined together, but then both would be elastic as well. So you can kind of like add top with but the top part does have to be stitched, because there is no way you could go backwards and forwards with the elastic that many times, as many times you go backwards and forwards with the thread itself. All right, thank you so much. Brando's here. Good morning, lovey. For them, thank you so much, Kitty, for a lovely demonstration of the ring and turning for the necklace. Oh, thank you so much. You always like give like so many lovely comments, all of you. I really do love it. Okay, so Victor is saying, wow, got to try that necklace now. It's really easy. It's really easy as that. Just turn the corner and then you're going to have a beautiful V shape in the middle, and it's going to sort of sit flat all the way to the top of your neck. Thank you, Adelina. Oh, and Lucy's going to try a necklace as well. Brilliant. So, I'm gonna have to run. I need to get some breakfast. I haven't had anything to eat yet, and I'm gonna be heading into Zoom with Gemma is coming today for Bead Club, and it would be lovely. She's going to be teaching a tassel pendant for everybody to make. I can't wait. I really can't wait to see it. So I'm going to be heading into Zoom for the Bead Club. Then tonight at 7 p.m. I will be on my channel, Kitty Robinson Designs. Do join me. We're going to be playing with beads as always. We played these Hugs and Kisses last week, so there's another thing I really want to work out, so I think we're gonna be doing that. Victor is saying bye for now. Thanks so much, Kitty, for lovely tutorial. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kim. Everybody's saying thank you so much. I love it. I appreciate you so much, every single one of you, just to sort of turning up and spending time with me. It's so amazing, and it's the community as well. What we kind of like built behind these lives are just like. I'm so glad we were able to sort of connect so many like-minded people. Right, okay, so have a look at the website. I don't know how many colors or what left, but for these gorgeous bracelets, I'm not going to bring them back in. I got to run, but I'll see you very soon. Oh, it's going to be me Friday morning as well, and we're going to be doing spiral staircase, as Natalie's got some building works going on, and she won't have internet. So you can't go live without internet. Oh, Leanne just handing them to me, so we're going to be doing she's so good, isn't she? She's handed me into me, so now I'm going to zoom out because you can't see them so much. We're going to do spiral staircases next Friday, and doing all sorts of different colors. She just brought another color over here as well, but there is quite a few colors. We're going to revisit this stitch. I love it. I really do love it. And I was going to show you the bracelets. So what I was working on yesterday, so which will be coming up. Not it's probably February by the time we sort it all out, but these two will be coming up. It's a very similar technique, but by using different beads, they look completely different. I really do love these ones. I was thinking of this yesterday, like I always do bracelets, and because I love bracelets so much, and this one actually, especially this one, you can modify it to be a necklace as well. So I think it would be a lovely project to do. Right, everybody, have a beautiful day, and I see